I've been big all my life. And for the longest time, I didn't care. For the longest time, I just thought that's how it was, and I wasn't going to do anything about it. And I'd die early, and I was happy with it. I grew up in an abusive family and an abusive home. The amount of pain that's in my head and my heart is immeasurable. It haunts me every day of my life and always will. Because of that, I have two diagnosed disorders. The first is PTSD. I have extreme anxiety. Several times a day. Some of the simplest things. Seeing a shoe on the floor, seeing the soda on the edge of a chair or edge of a table or whatever. My brain will trigger. It's awful. I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm going to die. I lose my breath. I lose my mind. I go crazy. I get angry. I get sad. I get depressed. I get everything. I get suicidal. I'm afraid it won't end. I'm afraid it will end. I'm afraid I'll end myself. Once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. One of the things that helps with that is food. It's one of the only things that help. And so when this happens, I'll eat. That's the second disorder. I have an obsessive compulsive eating disorder. When I'm in that kind of mental pain, when I'm in that kind of anguish, and I think about the day my mother attempted suicide, or the day my father lost his hearing in the coal mines, or the day that he had a stroke due to his alcoholism, or the day my mother tried to claw my eyes out and I jumped out of a moving car to save my left eye, which still doesn't work so good. It was barely worth saving. Or any of that stuff. I eat. That's a pattern I've been in my whole life. But really, only about 5 years ago, I started giving a shit. My mom passed, which was part of it. I was free of that reign of tyranny. The other part is I met my wife. And I had someone who cared about me. And I started caring about myself because of it. Because of this woman, I have accomplished a lot. I'm famous, for whatever that means. I make a good living doing it. And I've built a fellowship here on the internet. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I met some amazing people. And we've done some amazing things. And we've saved some lives. And we've helped some people. And we've made people's minds change for the better. And we've entertained some people. If nothing else, we've made people laugh. And that's so wonderful. And I thought, if I can put that kind of motivation into work on this, I would succeed. And I have. Not in the way you'd like, not in the way you'd want, but in ways I can't really express to someone who doesn't know me personally, but I want to try. I dread making videos like this because when I do, the shitty people come out of the woodworks and they crap all over me, and I hate it. But the majority of you that come out are wonderful people who genuinely care. And I love you for it. And I'm making this video for you because I know you'll be there for me, but I also know that you deserve the truth. And a lot of you have been asking where I'm at with my weight loss, and I want to tell you. You got to know. And as scary as it is, I really just need to be honest. We had a lot of success at first 4 years ago when I first really dug deep into me to find all the strength I had. We did a low-carb, ketogenic diet for 6 months, and I rocked it, man. I did. I was more successful than I'd ever been. I was doing well with my wife. I was doing well with YouTube, and I was doing well with that. We were exercising, too, which was a big part of it. Exercise is nowhere near as important as dieting, but it is important. And we had a gym membership we'd go to, and I'd swim 3-4 days a week. I'd do laps. I'd do water resistance exercises to build my core, to build my legs, to build all this wonderful strength and to do better. And it's slow going. But in 6 months, I lost 67 pounds, and that was amazing. And I was so proud that I did. But at some point, one night I was getting out of the pool, and my back would not hold my weight. And the pain that I was in was excruciating. And I want you to know that I have known real pain. I've known cigarette burns. I've had whiskey bottles cracked over my head. I've been cut. I've been stabbed. I've been scratched. I've been punched. I've been beat. I have lymphedema in my legs. I once had a necrotic wound this big that took 6 months to heal. I once lost 90% of the skin from my knee to my ankle on my left leg and had them peel it off of me while I was awake. And then it took 3 months for the skin to grow back. And with these wraps, I know pain, man. I know pain. And this pain was different than everything else. And my wife got me home. She had to drag me to the car practically. And she got me home, and I got into the bed, and I thought to myself, man, this is it. I'm done. I'll never get out of this bed again. I've read a lot of stories about guys my size and women my size, and around 35 or 40, if they are not dead, they're generally bedridden a lot of the times. And I thought, this is it. And damn it, I have so much inspiration and so much to fight for and so much to live for. And it was only a few days later that I finally got into the living room again for the first time. And all I did was sit there in my chair in my recliner and did my best. And I got to where I could do my work again and make YouTube videos, even though I was in a lot of pain. And slowly but surely we made progress. We got to where I was going out of the house again, even if it was just to go to the grocery store or ride around on one of these stupid Mart carts. And we had a few setbacks, one of which landed us at the emergency room. I had a small crack in the femur in my left leg, a micro fracture, and the pain from that was very bad, but not as bad as what was going on in my back. We tried to x-ray my back, and we couldn't figure out what it was. Because of the obsessive compulsive disorders that I already have, they will not prescribe me real drugs, nor would I take them if they would. So I just have to deal with the pain with ibuprofen and aspirin. And it's been like that ever since. People tell me to walk, but they don't understand that I can barely walk across the house. But I'm still making progress, man. I never give up. I never give up. I will never give up. But as you can imagine, the PTSD, the anxiety, the fear, the terror, off the charts, man. Fear of my own life, fear of being stuck in that bed, fear of never walking right again, fear of never being able to live the life that I deserve or that my wife deserves for me to live. And of course I ate. I put on about 50 of the pounds of the 67 I lost back. I've lost some of that since, though. Along with getting better every day, getting more physically fit every day, I've managed to succeed. It's been slow going for a lot of different medical reasons, the pain being one of them, another being that I have no testosterone in my body. We tried testosterone supplements, but I get side effects from it, so they're afraid to have me on high dosages, but without decent dosages to get me to a regular level, my body can't build muscle mass, and I have little to no muscle mass, so that's complicated. A lot of reasons, not excuses. Work still has to get done, but there are reasons. I hope you can understand the difference. But as I'm sitting right now, today, I'm 50 pounds from my heaviest ever, which was 587 pounds. And that's a victory to me. I'll take it. Because if I didn't try, I'd be twice the size I am now. Or let's just be honest, I'd be dead. If I hadn't fought my whole life to do my best, to try to overcome these disorders, to try to overcome the damage I'd already done, I'd be dead. If I truly didn't care, I would be gone by now. But I'm not. That's got to be proof of something, I guess. For the past few years, I try. Let's do low carb. Let's do keto. Let's do paleo. Let's do a vegan diet. But all of this is symptoms, different versions of one thing. Calorie restriction, which is what it takes. You have to restrict your calories. Diet is 90% of it. You have to eat less calories than you burn. I understand that. I know that. I do that. I try. These different diets that I try are just means to doing that. But a year ago, I met with Diamond Dallas Page, almost a year ago, 11 months ago. He came here and taught me a diet that would work, and it did. And when I can stick to it, it helps, and it rocks. And even when I'm not sticking to it, even when my OCD takes over, I focus on the types of things he taught me to do, and it helps. He taught me a diet exercise regimen, which I still do 3 days a week ever since. It helps strengthen my core. It helps reduce my back pain. It helps. Even though my body can't grow muscle very well, I still do it. I still try. I do everything I can every single fucking day. Sometimes I eat food while I'm crying. Sometimes I hide food. Sometimes I buy a food and then throw it away, and then dig it out of the trash and eat it while crying about it. And I try to stop. I try to not do it. I try. And I tell you, and I've said it a million times on the internet, and I'll tell you again, one of two things is going to happen. Either I will succeed, or I will die trying. And that's the truth of it. I don't talk about it much publicly because there's not much progress to report. I try a new diet and I stick to it for 24 hours sometimes. 3 days, 10 days, 20 days. Sometimes it's the memories of the hell I've gone through. Sometimes it's the PTSD. Sometimes I'm just weak. And I fuck it up. I fuck it up all the time. And I'm scared to tell you when I do. But you deserve the truth. So there it is. Love you guys.